Hey, if you're looking to create a budget forecast for your existing small business, then you've come to the right place. We have created a template built specifically for small businesses, existing businesses, to create a budget forecast. So this will show you how to forecast both revenue and expenses with this template. I'm going to walk through how to fill this out, how to think about budgeting, and then I'm going to show you the end result and the deliverables here. So I've put a link to this individual template in the description of the video below, so you can go grab the template and follow along that way and create your own budget as we walk through this together. Before we dive in, my name's Adam Huxema. I'm the co-founder of ProjectionHub, and over the last decade, we've helped over 50,000 entrepreneurs create financial projections and budgets for investors and lenders and internal planning as well. And so today I'm really excited to walk through this new existing business template that is going to help you budget for the coming 5 years. And so with that, let's go ahead and dive in. Okay, so we're starting kind of at the end here with our at a glance. So after you've entered in all of your budget assumptions, you're going to get this nice forecast of both revenue and expenses and net income that you're budgeting or projecting out going forward, with some nice graphs and charts. You also get a 5-year projected income statement, 5-year cash flow budget, and a 5-year balance sheet, as well as an income statement, cash flow statement, balance sheet broken down for each of the 5 years as well. So in order to get this level of detail, though, that we have a little bit of work to do. So we're going to go back to our input assumptions tab, and we are going to enter in initially kind of your existing balance sheet items. So you'll need to enter in things, and if you're an existing business, you'll probably want to, if you're using QuickBooks, you want to go grab your balance sheet from QuickBooks, and you should be able to enter in these assumptions based on that existing balance sheet. So we'll enter in all of these different assumptions. You can enter in existing fixed assets. And then since this is a budget, we want to also be able to enter in future expected purchases of fixed assets. So if you know in the coming year or the coming 5 years, really, you're going to purchase a building, purchase additional equipment, or furniture and fixtures, maybe do a renovation, all of those things can be entered in this section here with the date that you expect to make those purchases. You can also enter in your existing loans. So if you have existing loans and any future loans that you might expect to take out, and then any future investments that you expect equity investments to be put into the business, you can enter here as well. These will all kind of play into allowing us to budget not only the income statement, but budget our cash flow and balance sheet as well. So next we'll jump into our input revenue tab. And a lot of times with a budget, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to look at what things were like last year or maybe over the last several years. And so what we've done here is given you the ability to put in up to 5 years of historical financial data. So you can put in your different revenue categories. So let's say we do some consulting and some product revenue. Maybe we also have some rental revenue, and then some other miscellaneous revenue. We can put in that historical revenue line items, as well as the first few months of the current year. Let's say we have 3 months of the current year available as well. And from there, that's going to allow us, that historical data is going to allow us to select a kind of a budgeting or a prediction method. And so there's a lot of cool things we can do here. We can annualize the current year. So you can say, let's take the current 3 months and let's assume we kind of do the same thing for the rest of the year, and let's annualize that. We could average the current year and the previous year. We could average the current year and the last 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, etc. Or you can just select manual entry. So for example, maybe on the rent, let's say we're going to do annualized current year here, but maybe for rent, we know, or maybe for other revenue, we know exactly what we're going to make. We're going to make $6,000 this year for this line item. So we're going to just select a manual entry, and we can manually input $6,000 for the base there. Now for everything else though, what we're going to want to do is once we select our prediction method, then we'll say that will allow us to create a baseline, and then we can grow, we can increase or decrease from that base to help us project out or budget out for future years. So say next year we think we're going to grow our consulting revenue by 5%. We're going to increase our product revenue by 10%. Our rent revenue is going to stay flat, and so on. So that will then allow you to create your predicted 2023 revenue. And then for each of the following years, you can do the same thing where you do a percent increase or decrease. Now, you could put in a negative percentage. If you think any of these revenue line items are actually going to go down, you can enter a negative percentage to have a contraction in revenue as well. All All right, so next we're going to need to do a similar exercise on the expense tab. So zoom in here a bit. We'll be able to enter in categories of different expenses. And then we're going to come down here and enter in historical expenses again by category. We'll do that same process where we're going to select a prediction method. And maybe you just want to annualize the current year. Or maybe, this year's a strange year, and so you want to average out the last 5 years, because maybe that will be a better baseline for going forward. So you can make those decisions and then increase or decrease from the base. So maybe with expenses, maybe you're trying to cut expenses this year. So maybe we'll just put in a negative 5%. We're going to try to reduce our cost of goods sold here. That will give you your 2023 predicted revenue. That's kind of your baseline. Now, a couple other cool things that we can do on the expense side. Some expenses are going to be likely to be tied to revenue. There's some percentage of revenue. And so let's say you're a restaurant, you might have your food cost is typically a certain percentage of revenue. Maybe your labor cost is a certain percentage of revenue. And so if you grow or you increase your revenue, you would expect expenses to kind of follow as a percentage of sales. And so if that's the type of expense it is, we want to select here that it is a percent of revenue. And then this box will allow you to say what percent of what kind of revenue. Is it a percentage of product revenue, service revenue, or total revenue? So you can enter that in as well. And once you do that, this is going to tell you, okay, in 2022, this line item was 4.68% of product revenue. So maybe we want to actually decrease that. So we're going to put it in as 4%. We think we're going to decrease this expense down to 4% going forward. So you also have the ability to just input expenses on a percent increase or decrease as well, similar to how we did with revenue. So we think we're going to annualize this and then just increase it by 5% in 2024, 5% in 2025, and so on. Now, the last thing to show you on the expense side as you're budgeting is a salaries budget. So you have the ability to enter in individual salary positions if you would like. You could just put salaries all in one line item, or maybe by department up here in this box. Or if you want to put in individual salary positions, you can do that here. You can put in their salary, their benefits, what month. So if they're existing employees, you just say start month is 1 in the model. But if you think these are employees that you plan to hire in the future and you want to budget for them, you could pick a future month as well as an annual raise. Once you've done all of that, we will be back to our at a glance tab where we can see kind of a snapshot of what the projected budget will look like for the coming 5 years. And so if you're really just focused on next year's budget, again, you'll be able to get that monthly income statement, monthly cash flow statement, so you can see by month for that first year as well. So I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions about how to fill this out or how to make it work well for your particular scenario, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section of the video below, or reach out to us at support@projectionhub.com, and we'd be happy to try to help. Thanks.